my name is Megan, and this is Everything Lit. Today, I'm going to talk about the backlist books that I want to read in 2023. So these are books that I have owned for a really long time and I've wanted to read them, but I just never made the time. So now I'm going to prioritize them. So let's talk books. Also, you can see Vino's here. He's being a whiner today. If you watched my 2022 priority list for backlist books, you will recognize these next two. I did carry them over because I need to get to them. And that is Memoirs of Cleopatra by Margaret George and Where You Can Find Me by Sherry Joseph. Memoirs of Cleopatra is about Cleopatra's life. It's a historical fiction. It's like 900 pages. I want to get to it so bad. And Where You Can Find Me by Sherry Joseph is about a young boy who is kidnapped. His family does find him and get him back, and it's about his reintroduction to the family and healing from the trauma of what happened when he was kidnapped. Next, I would like to get to The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This has been making the rounds on BookTube. I've had it for several years. This is a dark academia, maybe the dark academia, where there is a secret society, maybe someone dies, I don't know. This is highly lauded literary fiction, and what I really want to decide is, do I like this author? Do I care? Part of me feels like I might DNF this, part of me might really like it. We'll find out this year. I would like to read The Book of M by Pang Shepard. This has been compared to Station 11 in some ways. It deals with the idea of memory, and apparently people are losing their shadows. It might be some weird pandemic. I have heard this is really confusing and boring. So I haven't heard good things about it, but I want to try it and decide for myself. I would like to read The 12 Lives of Samuel Hawley by Hannah Tinty. This has been on my TBR since at least 2015. I saw the author read a excerpt of the book at I almost just said concert, that's not right, at a conference when I was in grad school. Thought the voice was really good, thought the characters were really good, and so I bought it when it came out, and I still haven't read it. This has some magical realism elements. I believe the Samuel Hawley is some sort of criminal, and he has a criminal past, and he and his daughter have to reckon with that. Buddy, say hi. Say hi, Vino intro. What you doing? He says, let me down, crazy lady. I would like to read Winterwood by J.C. Bedford. This is a fantasy that takes place in 1800, and the reason I picked this up 800 years ago was because it involves historical fiction, magic. There is a cross-dressing privateer captain who is also a witch. So cross-dressing, pirate, basically pirate captain, witch, haunted by the ghost of their husband. But there's also maybe fairies? I'm very confused. So this book potentially has pirates, ghosts, fairies, historical fiction. Oh, witches. What is happening in this book? I hope to find out. This is a more recent book. This is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have had this maybe only 2 years at this point. Maybe I bought it this year. Either way, I feel like I've had it on my TBR long enough and I want to finally read it. If you haven't heard of this before, Daisy Jones and the Six follows a band, Daisy Jones and the Six, and their rise and their fall. It's told in a interview format after the band has already disbanded. I've heard it is a very interesting look at the music scene in the 60s and 70s. I would also like to read Prince Lestat by Anne Rice. This came out in 2016. I love the Vampire Chronicles so much, and I love Lestat in particular. It even has a bookmark in it. I haven't actually started it, but I reread the first 4 books in the Vampire Chronicles in 2016, 2017 in order to read this, and then I never read this. So now it's on my list, gonna read it this year. Next on my list, a bit of a wild card, is Mad Miss Mimic by Sarah Henstra. This is YA. This takes place in the 1870s in London, and there's a girl who has a speech disorder where she can mimic people very well, but she has a stutter when she speaks on her own. And there's something about opium and maybe a drug cartel. I don't know. It sounds wild, but I think the overall idea behind the story is this main character finding her voice, finding her true voice and not mimicking other people. And the last book on my backlist priority list is Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. As you can see, bought this in hardcover, brand new, have not read it. I love Wonder Woman, I love Leigh Bardugo. This is YA. I have no idea what this is about. I just know it's about Wonder Woman and I'm here for it. So those were the 10 backlist books that I want to prioritize in 2023. Let me know what is on your TBR that has been sitting there forever that you really want to read this year. Thank you for watching, and if you want to see if I actually do read these books, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, do whatever you want. I'll see you next time.